cold silence of mediocrity to disperse expansive, game-changing marketing wisdom. This is the Jeff Payne Show.
Reaching for a higher place than we can reach alone. Get up, get in, it's time to win. This is the Jeff Payne Show.
Right now, somewhere in AI is answering the question about your industry. It's naming your competitors. Maybe it's naming you, maybe it isn't. And you have no idea which because nobody sent you a meeting invite. That's not a hypothetical. Google's AI overviews alone reach an estimated 2.5 billion people a week. ChatGPT and Google's AI mode are each near 1 billion. That's conversation about your brain, the one deciding whether a prospect even calls you, is happening constantly. And for most companies, entirely without them in the room. Welcome to the Jeff Payne Show. I'm Jeff Payne. You're listening to episode number 19, the 2 currencies of AI visibility.
And now, our feature presentation.
SEMrush just dropped their 2026 AI Visibility Index, one of the largest studies of its kind. 126 million real user prompts across ChatGPT, Gemini, Google AI mode, and AI overviews, January through April 2026, across 22 different industries. I want to hand you 5 things I learned from it. Not because 5 is a tidy list, but because each one quietly overturns something you probably still believe about how visibility works. Here's the finding that reframes everything else. Mentions and citations are not the same thing. And most brands are only tracking one of them. A mention is when AI says your name out loud in the answer. A citation is when AI actually pulls a fact or a quote from your website as a source. You think those travel together. They don't. On Google's Gemini, the overlap between brands that get mentioned and brands that get cited can be as low as 30%. Wikipedia is a perfect example of the opposite failure mode. Cited constantly, but almost never the brand anyone's actually talking about. So the question, are we visible in AI, isn't one question. It's really 2 questions. Are we being talked about and are we being quoted? You can win one and be invisible on the other and never know it. Let me show you what winning both looks like, because there's a company in this report that nails it, and it's not who you'd expect. It's Patagonia. Patagonia's AI visibility score has set at 79 to 80. Every single month in this study, not spiky, not chasing a viral moment, flat and high every platform. And here's the mechanism. It's not Patagonia's own website doing the heavy lifting. 6 specialist review sites like Outdoor Gear Lab and REI's own content mention Patagonia more than every tier 1 traditional media outlet combined. 65,000 mentions from 6 sites. Patagonia didn't optimize a landing page. They spent years being the brand that outdoor journalists, gear reviewers, and hiking forums talk about consistently. In the same language. AI just reads that consensus back to you. Now flip to the risk side of this. Cleveland Clinic gets 86%, 86 of all its AI mentions from a single platform, Google AI overviews. Yelp gets nearly half its mentions from one platform too. If either of those platforms quietly changes how it weighs sources, and they do constantly, that brand's entire AI presence could move overnight. If you built your visibility on one channel's goodwill, you don't own your visibility, you're renting it. Here's another one that should stop you mid-coffee. The 4 AI platforms do not behave like one channel. ChatGPT leans on Reddit and Wikipedia. Gemini leans on Google's own commerce ecosystem, Amazon, eBay, and 8 of its top mentions are shopping brains. Google's AI mode, oddly, surfaces Yelp higher than any other platform on Earth. Local discovery gets a seat at the table nowhere else. An AI overview runs on YouTube above everything, cited 83 million times in this data set, more than double the next source. 4 platforms, 4 completely different diets of what they trust. A single AI strategy doesn't survive contact with that data. Optimizing for ChatGPT and assuming it transfers to AI overviews is like assuming your billboard on the highway also works as a radio ad. And then there's a ceiling worth naming honestly. The universal 36 brands, YouTube, Amazon, Disney, Nintendo, that tier, show up in the top 100 of every platform every month. For 99% of companies listening to this, that tier is not a target. It's the horizon. The real game is category leadership, not universal fame. In finance, the top 3 brands only hold 41% of that conversation. Wide open. In news and media, the top 3 hold 83%. A closed door. Know which kind of room you're walking into before you decide how hard to push. So what do you actually do with this Monday morning? First, split your reporting. Stop asking, are we visible in AI as one number? Ask 2 questions separately. Who's mentioning us and who's quoting us? If you can't answer both, you're flying with one instrument. Second, find your industry's citation core. Every category has 3 or 4 sources that all 4 AI platforms trust by default. For finance, it's NerdWallet, Investopedia, Bankrate. For software, it's G2 and Capterra. Whatever it is in your world, go read what those sites currently say about you. Most leadership teams haven't looked in months. It's currently your unofficial brand page, whether you approve the copy or not. Third, pick your platform. Don't chase all 4. If your buyers search conversationally, ChatGPT and Gemini matter more. If they're typing quick, local, transactional questions, AI overviews and AI mode are where you live. Trying to be excellent everywhere at once is how you end up mediocre on the platform that actually matters to your customer. Here's the self-audit. It's one question. If a customer asked an AI platform to describe your company right now in your own words, would it get you right? Not would it mention you? Would it get you right, positioned correctly, not conflated with a computer, not stripped of the thing that actually makes you worth choosing? Most companies had never asked that question because until this year, there was nowhere to even look. Now there is. What you do with that answer is entirely up to you. I'm Jeff Payne. This has been The Jeff Payne Show.
Thank you for listening to The Jeff Payne Show.
Find the complete archives of all episodes at jeffpayne.net or subscribe for free at Apple Podcasts and never miss an episode.
This program is copyrighted by Jeff Payne Incorporated. All rights reserved.
Each week we bring you a message of inspiration and hope, remembering that true hope is available to all through Jesus Christ.